Wednesday's Season 2 finale seemed to be telling us something very clear. Ophelia had been locked in Grandmama Hester's basement for years, and on the wall, written in blood, were the words "Wednesday must die." When we first watched this scene, naturally, we all thought the same thing. Ophelia will be the new villain of Season 3, and she will try to kill Wednesday. But honestly, I think that answer is a little too easy. Because would a show like Wednesday, built on mysteries and twists, really show us the new season's villain that clearly in the final scene? I think Netflix is deliberately forcing us to look in the wrong direction here. What Ophelia wrote may not be a death threat. On the contrary, it may be a prophecy warning about a death she saw in Wednesday's future. In fact, when we put all the clues together, there is a possibility that Ophelia is not trying to kill Wednesday, but trying to save her from a much bigger danger. To understand this theory, we first need to briefly remember what happened in the final episodes of Season 2. At the beginning of the season, Wednesday saw a dark vision where Enid died, and for almost the entire season, she tried to prevent that death. But after Wednesday and Enid switched bodies and fixed the problems between them, the prophecy suddenly changed. Enid was no longer going to die, but this time, it was said that a member of the Addams family would die. By the time we reached the season finale, nobody from the Addams family had died. Pugsley was saved from death, Gomez and Morticia survived, and Wednesday was pulled out of her grave with Enid's help. So the prophecy that an Addams will die still has not come true. Then, in the final minute of the season, Ophelia appeared and directly wrote, "Wednesday must die" on the wall. I do not think it makes much sense to see these two sentences as unrelated. I think Ophelia has already seen which Addams is going to die. The most important detail here is that Ophelia did not write "I will kill Wednesday." The sentence she wrote sounds less like someone revealing a plan and more like someone describing an event that will happen in the future. On top of that, Ophelia is a raven just like Wednesday, and raven powers have never given us clear, easy-to-understand answers. They do not watch the future like a straightforward movie scene. They see short images, symbols, and moments without full context. When Wednesday saw Enid's grave, she believed Enid would definitely die, but later, we learned that this vision could change. It is also possible that Ophelia misunderstood her own visions years ago, or that she lost her connection to reality under the weight of what she saw. So the writing on the wall may not be the result of personal hatred toward Wednesday. Ophelia may simply be writing the things she saw over and over again. Maybe the vision that has stayed in her mind for years and pushed her to the edge of madness is exactly Wednesday's death. There is also the question of how Ophelia even knows Wednesday. Ophelia has been missing for about 20 years, and she disappeared before Wednesday was even born. As far as we know, the two of them have never met before. And yet Ophelia does not only know Wednesday exists, she also seems to know about a death that will happen to her. If Hester has not been telling her about what is happening outside all these years, then the most logical way for Ophelia to know Wednesday is through psychic visions. Also, the moment Wednesday opened the journal Morticia gave her, she saw Ophelia, and the powers she thought she had lost started working again. The creators also clearly imply that there is a special psychic connection between the two ravens. Maybe Ophelia has been trying to reach Wednesday for a long time, but because she could not do it through normal means, she has been sending her visions. In that case, the sentence, "Wednesday must die," may be less of an attack plan and more of a terrifying warning Ophelia is trying to send to her niece. But the truly interesting part of the theory depends more on Grandmama Hester than on Ophelia. Throughout Season 2, Hester was shown as a loving grandmother who tried to get closer to Wednesday, bought her a cemetery, and said she understood her better than the other family members did. She even invited Wednesday to stay at her house during the summer. But that same woman had been hiding her supposedly missing daughter in the basement of that house for years. Think about it. Hester wants to bring Wednesday to the house where Ophelia is locked up, but she does not tell anyone about it. While Morticia lived for years without knowing what happened to her sister, Hester continued hiding the truth. On top of that, when she enters the basement and sees "Wednesday must die" written on the wall, she does not really act surprised. All of this makes me think Hester may not be as innocent as she seems. Maybe the real enemy of Season 3 is not the woman locked in the basement, but the woman holding the key to that door. Of course, we need to be honest here. We cannot yet say that Hester is definitely the villain. Ophelia may really have lost control and become an extremely dangerous raven who threatens everyone around her. Hester may be keeping her there not to punish her daughter, but to protect Wednesday and the rest of the family. After all, according to what Morticia told us, after Ophelia overused her powers, she started crying black tears and losing the ability to tell the difference between visions and reality. But maybe what makes her dangerous is not only her madness. What if Ophelia saw something about Hester or the Frump family that she was never supposed to learn? What if Hester silenced her not because she lost control of her powers, but because she saw a truth Hester did not want revealed? The fact that Ophelia's return is said to hit the Addams family like a bomb suggests that something much bigger than a simple family conflict is being hidden in that basement. I think the future Ophelia saw can be interpreted in two different ways. The first and strongest possibility is that Wednesday will truly come close to death in Season 3. Of course, I do not expect them to permanently kill the main character of the show, but Wednesday may briefly die, cross into the spirit world, or be forced to fake her own death in order to break the prophecy. The second possibility is that the death Ophelia saw is directly connected to Hester's plan. Maybe Hester needs Wednesday's raven powers, and Ophelia knows that this will eventually lead to her niece's death. Since we do not currently have enough evidence to confirm this, it would not be right to say that Hester will steal Wednesday's power or use her in a ritual. But it is a very strong possibility that there is a connection between Hester trying to bring Wednesday into her house and Ophelia seeing her death in that same house. Ophelia is also a dark reflection of the person Wednesday could become in the future. Both of them are powerful, stubborn ravens who do not want to listen to anyone's warnings. When Wednesday overused her powers in Season 2, she also began crying black tears like Ophelia. The reason Morticia kept warning her was not because she wanted to control her daughter. It was because she saw Wednesday walking the same path as her sister. When Wednesday finally meets Ophelia in Season 3, she will not only see a mysterious aunt standing in front of her, she will see the future she could face if her own powers spiral out of control. But I think this is exactly where the twist will come. Because of the story she has heard from her family, Wednesday will believe that Ophelia is insane and dangerous. But as the investigation continues, she will realize that the past she was told may not be true. Wednesday may be both the person who needs to save Ophelia and the person who needs to stop her. We know that at the beginning of Season 3, Wednesday will try to find Enid, and that the Paris journey will be part of this search. But a clue she finds in Ophelia's journal could connect that journey directly to the past. Hester has been hiding. While Wednesday is first looking for a way to save Enid, she may unknowingly begin investigating her own death prophecy. Then, when she returns to Nevermore, the real mystery she needs to solve may not be the identity of a new monster, but the lies her own family has been telling for years. When Morticia learns that her sister is alive, the old conflict between her and Hester will begin again. This way, Season 3 may turn not only into a conflict between Wednesday and Ophelia, but into a major family war between Morticia, Hester, Ophelia, and Wednesday. But my guess is that by the end of the season, Wednesday and Ophelia will be revealed not as enemies, but as allies. In short, I do not believe that the message Ophelia wrote on the wall is a death threat. I think that sentence is the continuation of the unfinished, an Addams will die prophecy from Season 2. And Ophelia is telling us that the person who will die is Wednesday. Hester's role in this whole story may be much darker than it appears. Maybe she locked her daughter away to protect the family, or maybe she has been hiding a truth that Ophelia would reveal for years. For now, the only thing we can say for sure is that Netflix is trying to make us afraid of Ophelia, but the person we should really be suspicious of may be Hester. So do you think Ophelia really wants to kill Wednesday, or is she trying to warn her about the future she saw? Why has Grandmama Hester been keeping her daughter in the basement for years? Definitely write your theories in the comments. I would really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.